what's up guys? So I'm back again for another video. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to just try and pump out daily vids whilst completing the cardiovascular of the morning. Had a good response of the from video I did yesterday, which was about my peak week and what my plans are going into peak week. So today I'm going to talk about how to set up a mini cut briefly, and how to set up sort of a long-term dieting phase protocol, and the situations that could arise and the position that potentially you should be in at the start before even embarking on any of these things. So quickly summarize what a mini cut is. A mini cut is a short and sweet fat loss phase, which can be from anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks. The goal of during that phase is to really simply just get the fat off quickly and get back to gaining. So how I would approach this would be typically to slash food quite dramatically, and the rationale behind that is you want to get it done quick. So getting in and out of a mini cut is important. A mini cut isn't a dieting phase where you spend time dropping food by 10 to 15 grams of carbs a week. No. So say if your calories are like 3,500, I would initially go from 3,500 to 2,002. Adhere, you'll probably drop a lot of weight in the first week. A lot of that would be glycogen, water, and then obviously body fat probably start coming off after sort of a week or so. If you adhere to that for a few weeks, you'll be in a position where you could just come out of the mini cut and get back to gaining. So slash food, I would say, depending on where you're at in regards to food focus as well, or all of these variables, it all depends, but generally I take food down drastically and get it done quick. During this period of time as well, you can increase activity quite high via sort of expenditure on things like this. What you have to remember though is during this period, recovery may slide a little bit, but it's not really the end of the world. It's only a short and sweet fat loss phase to get it done and get back to the goal at hand, which is muscle building. So that's pretty much a mini cut. I'll most likely utilize these later on next year, 100%, 2 to 4 weeks, get 10 pounds off, go again. I think they're a great tool for people who want to get back to gaining, and people who are just a little bit of motivation's dwindled and appetite's gone, etc. Things like that. So that's mini cuts. That's how to set them up, why you set them up. So when we're looking at a long-term dieting phase, contest prep, photo shoot prep, bikini prep, any diet where you want to get pretty damn lean, a few things to consider before even thinking about doing it and getting on board with a long-term diet. So number one thing is, how much muscle do you have? Do you have an appreciable amount of muscle mass in order to warrant dieting down for a long period of time? If you don't, simple as that, as simple as if you do that, you'll be very upset with the end product. So that's something to really initially think about at the start. Another thing is, have you spent enough time in a calorie surplus in order to work food up in an off season before embarking on a prep or a diet? So if you haven't, your calories are going to start really low initially, and quite frankly, you're not going to be able to adhere for long. Especially if calories become stupidly low after like 8 weeks and you're not even that lean, I don't think you're going to be in a very advantageous position to continue dieting, in my opinion. There's a time and a place for low calories, where I'm at right now, dog end of a prep, get it done, get the work done. But if I was to start my prep from where I'm at now, food-wise, no way, I wouldn't be able to do it. Openly honest about that, I wouldn't be able to do it. So spend time in your gaining phase working food up. Metabolically as well, try to look for almost an adaptation over time, whilst in a surplus of calories. So work your food up week by week when you need to, and when you can, and go from there. Very important, know that. Thirdly, are you in a position to be embarking on a long diet? So financially, are you stable? Yes. Relationships, friendships, are they stable? Cool, they are, good. Work. Is work good for you at the moment? Are you enjoying it? Yes. Do you have any really, really bad injuries? No. How much do you want this, or what you're embarking on? Very high. If all of those things are in check, you're in a good position to diet. If they're not, don't even think about it. Why? Because when you diet down and you get lean and you have external stresses, they will play a fucking massive role on your ability to lose body fat. Now why? If you're chronically stressed about other things going on in life, cortisol levels will be through the roof, you'll hold massive amounts of water, and your ability to lose fat in an optimal fashion will be very, 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 very greatly reduced. So, have them all in check first before even thinking about prep or a long-term dieting phase. So, my last point, probably the most pivotal point, is: are you 100% obsessed with your weight training endeavors? If you're not, don't start a prep. You will not be able to stick to it for very long. I think adherence will go out the window. If you're doing it for Instagram fame or likes, or just to prove to your best mate that you can get shredded, don't even think about it. Because that's how you're going to fail, guarantee you. And failing isn't fun. It's not going to be nice to be in a position where you haven't sort of exceeded expectations. So yeah, take all those things into consideration before even thinking about it. So really briefly as well, just so I don't keep this being too long. Starting phases of a diet. So food needs to be as high as possible. Output, i.e. steps, cardiovascular work, needs to be minimum. So if you come out of an off-season period, you're doing no cardio, you're on 4,000 calories, you're on over 500 grams of carbs, steps are 5,000 a day, weight training is 5 times a week. That's a great position to start a diet. So from this position here, we can pretty much drop 100 grams of carbs and then start the diet, because that'll be a 400 calorie drop, put us in a nice position to drop some water off, drop some glycogen off, and then start fat loss. If you're able to be in that position to start with, yes, calories will have to come down eventually, but the start position will be so favourable compared to potentially others. So it's a great position to be in if you're able to start there. So, and from there, it's really simple. It's probably the easiest thing you'll ever do. It's just about if you can hack it psychologically. That's pretty much the game here. But all you need to do, logbook your weight training, stay as strong as possible, take diet breaks when needed, Take deloads when needed, take refeeds when needed, monitor your body weight every day, track your calories to the gram every day. Every week, look at obviously, if you have a spreadsheet, check the calculator, check your average, well, what's it doing? Okay, cool, so I've lost 2.4 pounds this week. Perfect. Do I need to make an adjustment to nutrition or cardio? Absolutely not. If your coach is potentially making an adjustment when you've dropped off 2 pounds, question that, I would. And then from there, all you need to do is keep either trickling food down, taking expenditure up, being consistent as hell every single day, prioritizing sleep, prioritizing good sources of carbohydrate around training, and like pre, intra, post. Like, that's probably the most important window in my opinion for like nutrition. And adhere, and adhere. That is all you need to do in order to get shredded. So taking that's just the basics and the fundamentals. To apply that is another level and another ball game, to be honest, because the perfect diet on paper will never ever be the perfect diet in real life. So you might map out this perfect 16-week plan where every week you're dropping 10 grams or 20 grams of carbs, and every week you're dropping 2 pounds on the scale. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen in reality. So fat loss is never ever gonna be a linear process. So adhering, monitoring, taking photos, monitoring body weight, asking for a second eye is absolutely key. And that's pretty much it, guys. Take your time, start early if you're doing a contest prep or photo shoot or anything that requires you to get shredded. Start early so it gives you time for slower weeks, and just stick at it. It's not easy. This prep has been hands down the hardest thing I've ever done, physically and mentally for sure. But I can't tell you how strong it's made me from a psychological point of view. I feel like I would do anything now. I've adhered to this for over 8 months. I feel strong as hell that I'm able to do that, and